Okay. I'm gonna load this up to YouTube. So this is one of my YouTube videos. I'm having a debate with a friend of mine about the universe and the cause of the. So I grant that there is a cause to the universe. The universe as a whole is just a bunch of moving parts, and they are randomly coming together and creating stars and asteroids and planets and dark matter and dark energy and atoms and neutrons, and so the universe is completely in motion. Okay, because the universe at one point they believe was infinite density, and space and time didn't apply. Laws of physics as we understand them didn't apply. Something happened to cause the universe to move into motion. Now, I do not use the label God. I don't use he's a higher power. I don't want to say blah 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 because that sounds so disrespectful, right? The universe is a bunch of motion. And this is the question I ask, my friend. Now, you can cause a ball to roll down a hill. You can take a ball to the top of the hill and you can push it down the hill, and you can set up a bunch of obstacles, right? So the ball will end up in slot number C. You see YouTube videos of them where they make these huge elaborate things and they push the ball and it rolls down the hill and it does all kinds of fun, funky little stuff and it ends up in the cup. Or there's also people that roll a ball down a hill and they see where the ball ends up. There's 100 different places and they want to see where the ball ends up, right? And then you got the terrain and you got all the different obstacles and just stuff like that. And the ball is pushed and it ends up where it ends up, right? So my question is to my friend is this higher power affecting where the ball will end up? Or is the higher power pushing the ball and the ball ends up where it ends up? And theists generally say, oh, look at the universe and this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. You can just tell that the God is evidence that the God is absolutely everywhere. I don't like, no, that's not true. You are looking at a bunch of random events and you are putting spiritual significance onto a series of random events and calling it God. Evidence for God. Look at the stars. Look at how complex your eye is. How complex is it to create? How does life come into being? The evidence for God is everywhere. No. You are looking at a bunch of random events and you yourself are putting spiritual significance onto those events and calling it evidence for the higher power. I'm sorry to all my spiritual friends, but that's what it is, right? Now, is the higher power really pushing the ball into spot level C, or D or E or F or whatever, D, C, he's pushing it into level C. if you can show, now then what happens is the following question, well, evil, and why does God allow suffering? And if God is really affecting it to come here, so why does all this stuff happen if God is guiding it into that spot? That's a question for after, right? That is a good follow-up question, right? The initial question is, does God guide something into being? We are here. I exist, you exist, everybody exists. My dog exists, right, Dexter? So yeah, so does we all exist, okay? Does God cause me to happen and then guides me on the path that I'm on, right? There's follow-up questions, but I really want to try to break it down and say, okay, does a higher power affect the outcome? Or is he hands off and just pushes the ball down the hill and see where it ends up? That's my question. And I'm gonna put this on Facebook, and I'll put it on YouTube, and whoever watches it, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.